Absolutely. Now, while we've got you on, Harry, we know that you're the guru, the man who knows all things transfer-wise, and they tell me you have the inside track on the Joe Allen situation at Swansea. Now, for those of you watching at home who don't know, there's been a huge controversy this afternoon about Joe Allen. He is a midfielder at Swansea, and there does appear to be a clause in his contract which means he can move to a big so-called top 5 club if that clause is triggered. It's for £15 million. We're talking more about huge transfer fees for players I don't think are worth it in the second part of the show. But what I want to get from you, Harry, if I may, is a little bit of detail on this, because Swansea, as I understand it, have gone mad about this. And I think Liverpool have got every right, if they want to come in for him.
Well, they haven't, because we raised this issue a couple of days ago on this show, and we spelt it out that there is a player protection clause which Brendan Rodgers signed as part of his manoeuvre out of Swansea to Liverpool. And he is not entitled, nor are Liverpool, to make any approaches for any Liverpool players for 12 months. And this is what really has upset Swansea, and this is what they're talking about tonight. This is what their statement has been issued and the reasons behind it.
Can I just jump in very quickly, only because we haven't got too much time, Harry? What does the player think it is? Because, OK, the club can say, you can't come in for this player, but if the player wants to go and join Brendan Rodgers, I would imagine he'd have a fair bit to say about this.
Darren, you're quite right. In fact, you know, all three of them, Brendan Rodgers, Liverpool and the player, could be in court for the next 2 years arguing the differences of these particular clauses. I just don't see how they're enforceable. You know, the player could ask for a transfer. Would it be enforceable then? The player has a buyout clause. Is it enforceable if someone meets that buyout clause, irrespective of who it is? What would the player's attitude be that such a clause has been signed without his knowledge or consent?
Well, I tell you something.
Issues, I believe, make these type of things unenforceable.
Absolutely.
But there you have it. There is a clause that exists. Swansea want to revoke it, but of course, if Liverpool come in with £15 million, are Swansea going to say no to it?
Well,
they're going to say yes and wonder why they had this clause in the first place. So it really is quite an interesting scenario that's going on there.
Adrian's
been aspects of the player protection clause is that if a club makes an offer for a player, then Liverpool are entitled to make a counter offer, and it's quite clear that there are 2 or 3 clubs counter offering for this particular player. Spurs are one of them. They're obviously going to sell Modric at some stage, and they're looking for a midfield player to take his place. He is one candidate, and they are inquiring for him. Whether they've made a bid that would enforce this clause, who knows? But
Harry, is it true that the rumours and reports that it becomes an open market if a club outside of the top 5 come in for Joe Allen, then the release clause is irrelevant, and that anybody can bid anything? Is that correct or not?
Do you know, I don't know. It's so complicated. I mean, it seems to be that the only clubs that can bid for him in his escape clause is one of the top 5, of which Liverpool are included as a top 5 club.
If I was the player, I would be absolutely fuming at this. And we've seen it, haven't we, before? We're seeing it at the moment with Luka Modric, players threatening to go on strike. I know that Joe Allen's a different type of character, loves the club, but the opportunity to go to Liverpool, he's not going to let it pass him by, is he?
No, he's not. And I would imagine we're going to see a lot more of this, which is why we go to the guru, because he knows all of these things. Harry, we've got to...
I think down on this one, you need a top QC.
I think I might have to agree with you on that one. Harry, thanks for the time being.
A pleasure.
Bye, Harry.
Harry Harris.